Good morning, Browns fans. The Browns have jumped the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North Standings. Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. I'm still feeling good on this Monday morning after the Browns' big win. And we got some Browns news, folks, that's going to make you feel hopeful, going to make you feel a little bit more optimistic than you probably were a couple weeks ago about the Cleveland Browns. Let's get into that as this AFC North is wide open still. And actually, the Bengals beating the Steelers could help Cleveland in the long run. The rest of the Browns' schedule for the year is one of the easiest in the NFL. Look at their remaining 10 games. There's the Jets, the Titans, and the Raiders on there. Three of the worst teams, probably the three worst in the NFL right now. The Bears are beatable as well. The Bengals, beatable. The Steelers, as we just saw, are beatable. I mean, we go to New England next week. That one will probably be tough, but there's a lot of winnable games on this schedule, folks, including three more divisional ones in which Cleveland could use to make a push here towards the rest of the season. We're going to talk about some more numbers from the Dolphins game. Let's see if we are being crazy or we're really being realistic here about the Cleveland Browns. But first, make sure you are subscribed to the Browns Report if you want the best Browns content on YouTube, the best Browns news, to feel a little bit better about your team or to rage together. But today, we're celebrating. We're about 594 subs away from 56,000. You guys are awesome. We gained hundreds of new subs on our most recent watch party. So if you want to be a part of that family, hit that big red subscribe button. It's free, and we appreciate all of you that do so. The key to the Browns' offense was Quinshon Judkins, and that is the clear truth for the rest of the season going forward. These stats have been updated now. Judkins has faced 8+ defenders in the box 46.79% of the time. That is the most of any running back in the National Football League. And Judkins has 116 rushing yards over expected. That is fourth among running backs. It's incredible. He's facing a stacked box, and he's still finding ways to produce every single time. He averages 4.3 yards per carry in 2025. There's no secret that Quinshon Judkins' 3 touchdowns was literally what carried us offensively for the Cleveland Browns. But teams are going to start to game plan around this, right? I showed you that metric. They're stacking the box. He's seeing 8 or more defenders in there. That seems to be what teams are going to do going forward. And there were multiple instances in the Dolphins game where Judkins was tackled for a loss, right? But the fact that he was able to break through, pop a 46-yard run, that just speaks to that kid's strength, passion, and ability to make plays out of nothing. That's really what it was. He was making plays out of nothing because our offensive line's still not the best at holding up, and Judkins did the work. And we fed him 25 carries for Quinshon on the day, and that hat trick of 3 touchdowns. It's phenomenal. Rush average was down a little bit, like I said, 3.4 yards per carry because he was constantly being met in the backfield, but it didn't matter on most plays and when it counted. And so I think what we're going to start to see now going forward from NFL teams is it's going to be make Dillon Gabriel beat you, right? It's kind of what the Steelers did when we had Gabriel throw 52 times and didn't produce as much. Gabriel didn't need to do much this game, right? I mean, we won through the defense, through the running back, and Gabriel only needed to throw 18 times, and a lot of that was actually in garbage time, right? Barely eclipsed 100 yards, and we still won the football game. And, hey, he did what we needed. Didn't turn it over, 89 quarterback rating, and Judkins was able to lead the way for the Browns offensively. Gabriel spoke about his first start in the Cleveland Browns, his first win with the Cleveland Browns, and said, I think you always want to expedite the process of being able to play at a certain level, but there is understanding of natural progression as well. I am very excited, but also it's important to build sustainability as well. It's an interesting point from Gabriel here, and I think the first part of it, you see he's saying it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get used to the NFL, right? And just some natural progression with it. And also, we got to be able to keep up our wins if we do. Now, Gabriel, if we look at his first start, or his first win against the Dolphins, Daniel Oyefusi gives us some more insight that this time, in his 18 pass attempts, it was his fewest in a start this season. And his 6.4 yards per attempt are the most in a game this season, which isn't a whole lot. He finished 13 of 18 for 116 yards, as I showed you. So it's really interesting when you look at Gabriel's performance as a whole, right? He didn't have to do much at all offensively, and we won the game 31-6. I mean, we put up 31, and all he had to do was throw 100 yards. Is that a winning formula? It was on Sunday. We'll take it. But to my point, teams will probably start to game plan against this and just make the Gabriel have to beat you going forward. Miami, though, it was easy pickings for us. And when the defense plays like it does, which we'll talk about more in a little bit as well, that's a winning recipe for the Cleveland Browns. Skip Bayless weighed in here about the Browns quarterback situation, and he made this comment that if Shedeur Sanders was starting with that Browns defense and the emergence of Judkins slashing and gashing, as he should have from the start, the Browns would be the Vanderbilt of the North, because Vandy's doing really well in the SEC right now. And so it's an interesting perspective here, I won't lie. And I will preface this with Skip Bayless, maybe one of the most biased, worst analysts I listen to, especially because he hates on LeBron all the time, and that is just, it's unbelievable. I'm a big LeBron fan. But I think this is actually a bit of a thought-provoking quote, right? Like, I wonder, what would it look like if Shedeur Sanders had started this Dolphins game? Well, we probably would have won still. I mean, the way we dominated that football game, we won without Gabriel, essentially. And it does make you wonder, would our offense be a little better with Shedeur? Would he give us a better chance to win football games? I ask you, Browns fans, who do you actually think is the better quarterback on the roster? These are the only two right now. It's two young rookies signed to the active roster. That's it. Which one's better? Type DG if you think Dillon Gabriel. Type SS if you think Shedeur Sanders. I think that is a conversation to be had. But hey, we won the football game. I'm still hyped up. And like I said, there is hope going forward with the team that we got, that we can actually contend and win football games. And just imagine if we had an offensive quarterback and plenty of weapons. Don't get me dreaming about that, Browns fans. A couple other takeaways from this Cleveland Browns win. A couple good ones, and one to start off with here is that we still do need improvement on offense, right? And the reason I say that as my first takeaway is because what I've seen from the defense is like I've been saying all season long. We can win big football games, folks. There's no doubt about that. And if we just had offense that was consistent, there would be a whole different talk about the Cleveland Browns right now. Had we beat the Bengals like we should have, had we beat the Vikings like we should have, this would be a 4-2 football team. So don't count us out yet, folks. Don't count us out. People are already writing us off saying we're going to get the number 1 draft pick. It is not over. But look at the Browns receiving leaders from the Dolphins game. This should show you that we still need some receiving help, folks. Fannin Jr. led the Cleveland Browns. He's the tight end, right? And how many yards did he lead the Browns with that day? Not a whole lot, folks. So 36 total. And then Jamari Thrash's 1 reception for 23 yards. That was second most among Cleveland Browns that day. Malachi Corley as well finally got a little bit involved in the offense. Jeudy only 2 catches for 17 yards. I mean, really, folks, the pass game was not what did it for us. It was Judkins. It was the defense. And the fact that we won 31-6, I mean, wow. Just imagine how good this team could be if we improve the areas that we need, right? So don't let the big win distract you from the fact that, hey, our offensive needs are still there. The offensive line, the tackles specifically, still need improvement. We still need weapons. Still need a quarterback to be able to make plays when Judkins is game plan for. But we're celebrating right now in Cleveland. Don't you worry about that. My next takeaway. We can win games with this defense. This is clear evidence of it. We're going to dive more into the defensive performance and how this is possible. But first, I would like to tell you that this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. And honestly, I am just so hyped that the Cleveland Browns are back in the win column. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with PrizePicks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. And PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup, only on PrizePicks. And I got a lineup for Monday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. Our old pal Baker Mayfield. I like his rushing yards more than 18.5 tonight. C.J. Stroud and Sam Darnold, more than half a passing touchdown apiece. They've been doing a great job all season long. I like this lineup. If you want to make some money, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks It's good to be right. Folks, the defense showed out. 4 takeaways, 3 interceptions. Grant Delpit with the punch-out fumble on the kickoff return. Delpit's playing at a Pro Bowl level right now, ladies and gentlemen. We love what we have in number 9. Next Gen Stats told us, though, that the Browns only blitzed Tua on 19.2% of his dropbacks. They had a bunch of different looks, a lot of different misdirection and things thrown at him. And with not blitzing as often as they usually do, they still got home and forced 3 interceptions. Myles Garrett said, "We took some risks, and that's the Jim Schwartz that I know." The Jim Schwartz we all love in Cleveland. My goodness, what a phenomenal job Jim Schwartz has done with this Cleveland Browns defense and developing Cleveland Browns players. It's been incredible. His scheme has worked so well this year. It worked so well in 2023 when we made the playoffs. I mean, look at who he's developed. Already Tyson Campbell came in and has played a much better game than he has all season long with Jacksonville. The man defense is much better suited for the physical corner, number 7. He had the pick 6, and in 28 coverage snaps, he was incredible. Didn't even allow a single reception. That's credit to Jim Schwartz's new scheme. Carson Schwessiger has emerged already as a star linebacker for years to come in Cleveland. Devin Bush's career has been revived in Cleveland. And as I said, Grant Delpit playing at a better level than I've seen maybe in all of his career so far this season. Jim Schwartz is phenomenal. If there's any coach we need to keep, it's Jim Schwartz for a long time to come. What a game for the defense, folks. I mean, Tua got benched for Quinn Ewers. It got that bad, folks. I saw our Dolphins host crashing out saying he wants Tua off the team. That's what we did. That's what our Browns defense did to him, folks. What a day. What say you, though, Browns fans? Can we win games like this consistently? You think we could keep this up, right? Is the defense going to do this every week? Can we win with 100 yards passing? What do you think, Browns fans? What do you think? I'm absolutely celebrating this win. But type Y for yes if you think we can keep this up. Type N for no if you think, hey, we still got to change some of those things on offense if we want this to be consistent. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Final takeaway. Quinshon Judkins runs this offense, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about his hot performance to start the show already, but I think you got to see now, this is where our offense comes from. The run game. And it's really just Judkins. They don't even use Sampson a whole lot. Ford, they sprinkle in a little bit too. We're picking a workhorse, and we're sticking with him. Number 10 is doing work. And it's so funny to even look at this photo when you go back now. I mean, they literally took Gabriel out of the game at the goal line, at the 3-yard line, and said, 2 plays in a row, Judkins, you just take the snap and go to work. They did that on first goal and second goal he got into the end zone. And then they did it again later in the game. And Judkins found his way to the end zone. I mean, they literally said, Judkins, you just take the snap and do the work. It is so clear that he is the star of our offense. This is how Cleveland is going to put up points going forward. So we're happy to have the rookie QJ in Cleveland, but we're going to have to need a little bit more consistency from the pass game eventually, I would imagine. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the Browns Report this morning. It is a lovely Victory Monday, the second time we've been able to say that this season. Hopefully we get to say it multiple more weeks going forward. And I know next year, with all the young, bright rookies that we have, it's going to be a winning season for the Cleveland Browns. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you want daily Cleveland Browns content. We thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time on the Browns Report.